All right, y'all. Happy Monday. I know I'm running late, but today we are going to do Money Management Mondays. And today's topic is going to be tips to buying your first home. And again, I am Nate, your urban financial professional. And I'm not going to be long. This won't be a 15-minute. Will be about 15 minutes. And then if you want more information, of course, we have ways that you can sign up with our program. So I'm not, because I said I wasn't going to keep you long, I just want to give you a few tips on where to and how to purchase your own home. Now, let me tell you this right up front. If you are paying more than, I don't know, 1,100, 1,100 a month for rent, you can actually purchase your own home. And let me just give you some pros and cons of this. All right, so that you're not shocked, on why I say this. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you something very glaring about your mortgage versus the rent. Every year rent goes up. It could be 50, 100, 150. It just depends on where you're living. But the thing is, with a mortgage, depending on the type of mortgage, when we get into a deeper class, I'll go into it, your mortgage pretty much stays the same throughout the length of the course of the mortgage. So today you may be paying 1,100 a month for rent. In 3 years from now, you may be paying somewhere in the neighborhood of 1250. Okay? So the first advantage is that a mortgage stays constant throughout the entire process. I hope you guys, are kind of following me on this. We're going to have a repeat on it, but I do want you guys to sign up to find out how to purchase your own home. Listen, football season's here. There are lots of people that are going to be grilling out, having people over for football parties. The one I love is the Super Bowl party. And you can have your own house. Now is really the time to start looking at your own house. And let me explain why. The reason is because usually in the wintertime, the housing market slows down because people don't move because kids, because of work. It could be numerous things. But usually the spring and the summer are the peak time where people start to purchase their house. Now, if that's the case, it is time for you to start looking. And I'm going to give you a couple of things that are going to get you going. Wait a minute. So, the first thing I want you guys to do is pull your credit. Pull your credit. There are numerous ways that you can get a house. And there are different places that you can go to actually get down payment assistance. Hey, Chris. Hey, Kiki, Regina, Lynette. Let me give you a great example. If you are a veteran, the VA has loans that are conducive to help you to get in a house real quick. Right now, I have mortgage brokers that will help you to get into a house with a 580 credit score. Typically, if you want a mortgage that's going to have a super low interest rate, you want an FHA loan, and that's somewhere you need a credit score somewhere in the neighborhood of a 620 and a 650. So let's just dive right into this. The $1 million question is, are you ready for home ownership? And that's a great question because everybody doesn't need to be a homeowner. Because here's some things that are different between a homeowner and a renter. If something breaks down in your apartment or in your house or whatever you're renting, the landlord is responsible for fixing it. Versus, as a homeowner, you actually are responsible for fixing your own stuff. With rental, you can actually be put out within 6 months if you miss your rent. In a mortgage, it could take 6 months up to as long as 3 years. It really depends. So really right now, you have to like get yourself two things you have to really start working on if you're going to start this process. And believe you me, it's a simple process, but people don't really believe that. They think it's harder than what it is. First things first, you have to get your budget under control. And secondly, is that you have to get the credit stabilized and have it at a certain score. And that's okay if it's not at the score that you want. We can help you with that. The most key important thing when you're going to buy this house, when you go to closing, is that you're going to have some type of savings in place. Now, granted, a lot of cities and a lot of states have down payment assistance program, but you're going to have some type of, they want to see that, typically they want to say that they want to see 6 months of income saved up. And we all know that's really impossible. But if you can get anywhere from $500 to $1,000 saved up, they usually look and they say, okay, that's not a problem. And again, we have some programs that can help you to get there. So if you are in an apartment and you've been on time with your rent for the last 2 years, did you know that you could have your rent actually put out there onto your credit report? So that if they see that, the credit report raises anywhere from 25 to 50 points within 30 to 45 days. So let's talk about this budget real quick. See, first off, we have to set up some type of savings plan and we have to set up some type of goal. But before we can do that, we got to know where our money is going. How many people are actually living check to check? Do me a favor. If you're living check to check, give me a check mark or give me something in the comment section. All right, a couple people say yeah, and that's fine. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to manage our money by setting a household budget, and that's real simple. I'm going to give it to you real quick. You're going to take all the income that you bring in every month, add it up. You will write down every bill that you pay out every month. Put them in order. And what I mean by put them in order, what is the most important thing? Obviously, it's going to be rent, transportation, food, and then you go from there. Add up your expenses, subtract it from your income, and there you have a plus or a minus. And that's okay if you're running a deficit. We'll talk about that in a later training on how you can cover up that deficit. So now that you've done this, now you need to see where you can make certain cuts into your budget that you can start putting away a little bit more into your savings if you haven't already done so. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when you start to set your budget, you want to start to say, you know what, if my rent right now is at $1,100, I might be able to swing a mortgage that's $1,300. So what you would do is pay your rent and then put that $200 away into a savings account. So that way, when you get your mortgage, whether your mortgage goes up or goes down, you're already in the habit of paying $1,300 versus $1,100. Let me tell you something. When you manage money and you start to work on your budget, it is a habit. It is a habit that we need to form. So let's talk about starting a savings plan. There are all sorts of savings plans out there. One of the more popular ones is the 52-week plan, where you save $1, then it goes to 2, 3, up into 52 weeks. After you finish, you should have roughly around $1,000 to $1,100 at the end of a year. But that's fine. What I would strongly suggest, if you're not doing so, let's start small. Start small with $25 for the next 2 paychecks. Once you see that that doesn't hurt you, then after the first 2 paychecks, go up it to 50. If that still doesn't hurt you, then up it to 75, 100, until you get somewhere that you're actually comfortable that you start a sound savings plan. All right, so let's talk about this credit. All right, of course, there are 3 credit bureaus: TransUnion, Experian, Equifax. If you have not pulled your credit in a while, please pull your credit. Did you know that most credit reports have errors on them? Did you know that most credit report some there's some type of error on there? And so let me tell you five main areas that the mortgage lender looks at. He's going to look at your credit application. This is the time when the credit is pulled. They want to look at the on-time payments that you have. They also want to look at how much credit you're extended out. They want to see how much credit you've used and how much is outstanding. Tomorrow I'll do a class on FICO scores. It's not really hard. It's not really difficult, but it's something that you're going to really need to know. So when you start to pay your stuff down, basically they want to see how responsible you are with your credit activity. And sometimes no credit is worse than having bad credit. Now, ideally, your score should be at a 620 or higher. The higher it is, the more programs you're qualified for. But at the end of the day, like I said, I have programs that can get you into a mortgage at a 580. So let's just talk about the loans. All right. The first thing it's going to do, of course, is pull your credit. They're going to look at the scores. Low scores are below 600. Sometimes you can't get a house. So we want to get that score between a 600 and a 620. And then next, they're going to pull what's called a 1003. And this is your loan application. So let me give you some basic loan programs. FHA, which is a government loan, you want 3% down. A conventional loan, for those with bad credit, that's 5% down. So those are basic loan types. So if someone ever asks you, do you have an FHA or conventional, you'll know. Now, typical loans are 80% of the value of the house. So that means in your down payment, you're going to have to find a balance from a cash saving or a program like a first-time homeowner program. Now, once they pull your credit, they choose a loan program. They submit your documents. In 60 days, they need 60 days of pay stubs. It's called a VOE, a verification of employment, residence and rental history, bank statements for the last 90 days, W-2s for the last, or 1099s for the last 2 years. And this may be updated throughout the process just before the loan closes. Now, once you go through this process and we got you going, you cannot pull any more credit. Do not do any credit because they will pull your credit. And we have seen people that sat at closing, they said, let's pull your credit one more time. And they pulled the credit and come to find out they went and bought a brand new car, new furniture, and the loan didn't go through. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. House hunting. So the first thing you want to do when you go house hunting is find yourself a reliable realtor. Get referrals. Get people that have worked with this person before. And then when you do interview them, what you want to do is get referrals from the realtor to find out how good they are. Next, you want to understand the role and the fees and the limitations of your realtor. When your realtor sets an appointment, show up at all appointments and call if you're going to be late or unable to show. Now, your realtor, they're going to give you some tasks that you're going to need to do. Follow through on every task given by that realtor so that we can get the house and the mortgage that you deserve. Lastly, be realistic about the house you purchase. If you don't have the money or time or expertise to repair a house, do not buy a fixer-upper. For those that are couples, I would strongly suggest going with this program that I'm about to do for you. What it is, most people want to buy a house and we're going to have both individuals on the mortgage. Well, hold on, married couples. Let's do this. Let's see who has the stronger credit. And let's purchase the house on one income versus two incomes. Let me explain. If you're married and someone gets sick, so instead of one person trying to carry the load of two incomes, it's only on one and it won't hurt you as much. That's in a foreclosure prevention class that we'll talk about later on. Now, the one that did not purchase the first home, they're still a first-time homeowner. Guess what? You fix their credit, you run them through the homeowner process again, and go get a second house. And now that is your house that you will use as a rental property or an investment property. So listen, I know I threw a lot out there to you, and true to my word, I kept it under 15 minutes. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home or maybe getting yourself back on track financially or restoring your credit, what I want you to do is book an appointment with us. You're going to book an appointment. I'm about to give you the link right now. The link down here will help you to set an appointment with one of my counselors, and we will get you on track and tell you everything that you're going to need to do to make sure that you get the house that you deserve and the house that you need. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in to me. And I know I came in late. I have a specific time that I really want to sit down and talk to you guys each and every day. You know, usually I don't go past 9 o'clock, but today some things came up. Now, I do want you guys to think about this. I'm not ready for a home. It'll be about a year. No time is better than the present to get you going now. And I assure you, looking in the newspaper and looking online, those aren't the only ways you can purchase a house and get a house at a good deal. But book your appointment. Let's talk about how to get your budget set, and let's talk about how to get your credit restored or raised to where you can get the credit, get what you need. Or you might already be ready. How do you know you're not ready? Until we look at your credit, we look at your score, and then once we do that, we'll do a debt to income analysis, and then we'll find out if you're actually ready to make that purchase. And guess what? Here's the really interesting thing. Most people are already ready and they don't know it. Take my word for it. Home ownership is one of the first steps to building wealth. It's also a legacy that you can leave back to your kids. Again, I want to thank you guys. Definitely set an appointment with us. The links are in the comment section. If you can't see it, you can text credit repair to 39492, and that's going to take you to the link to schedule an appointment with one of our counselors, and we'll be more than happy to help you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. And again, I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much.